Today's topics include the Pebble Time Color open source virtual reality, Ray Enterprise's Super Remote, as well as updates on Tivo, Tablo, Plex, Media Browser 3, as well as HBO Now and Feeln video services. Welcome to Defrag Today, the show that captures some of the news fragments flying around the internet and sorts them for you. I am your host, the hairy guy down the hall, winner of the eating a bowl of instant noodles with just a pair of swizzle sticks vacation challenge. Standardization for VR has made a large step forward as numerous universities are adopting the open source virtual reality education program. This is a major step forward for OSVR Group, the organization of hardware and software developers that is developing a common standard for VR hardware and software. Currently, writing for VR software requires writing for a specific brand of headset. Obviously, all sides have a vested interest in the development of a common standard. Software developers want their titles available on as many pieces of hardware as possible. Hardware manufacturers want as many software titles as possible, and consumers just want their hardware and software to work together as they're supposed to. Our next fragment is more of a pre-order than a true fundraiser. Pebble's Color Watch, the Pebble Time Kickstarter hit $1 million in less than an hour. Whoopee! Woohoo! Actually, that's pretty screaming good. The color e-paper screen has a 7-day battery life. Oops, overshot. Where? I was just reading that. Come on, guys. My computer hates me. No, it doesn't. You love me, don't you? You're my friend. You'll help me ignore reality. Okay. The color e-paper screen has 7 days of battery life. A 22mm standard watch band. There will be watch bands with sensors provided by third parties, I think, to perform different functions. It's also water resistant, and it has a microphone and a new timeline display and full backwards compatibility with all existing Pebble apps and watch faces. Cool. Dang it, man. I'll learn to move the cursor. Here we go. The mic allows for me to be less of an idiot. No, there's no cure for that. I'm sorry, I am stuck this way forever. The mic allows for short voice recordings or voice commands. Now, if you're linked to an Apple, to an iPhone, the voice commands are going to be a lot more limited than they will be on an Android phone. I'm not sure about Windows phones yet. Yeah, BlackBerry can pretty much be assured it's lost in the wind forever. It's in the pit of darkness. But we love it, but you guys still need love. But the biggest improvement over the previous generation, even more so than the color display, is the timeline display. The timeline is arranged vertically, with the oldest events and notifications at the top, and future ones at the bottom. This is navigated by the 3 buttons on the right side: top for past, bottom for future, and middle for present. It may sound simplistic, but watching it in action looks to be a rather efficient use of the screen size and controls. Current generation Pebble Time users will get the timeline display on their smartwatches in an update. You can find out more information about the Pebble Time and the Pebble Time Steel on its Kickstarter page. Link below. Yes, they also, soon after that, launched the Steel version. Betas and bulletins. Ray Enterprises has taken a different design philosophy with its upcoming remote control. Ray calls it the Super Remote, and I'm going to refer to it as the RSR. The RSR resembles a smartphone and only has a few physical buttons: sleep, wake, volume, and mute. All other functions are controlled by its 4-inch 1120 by 480 capacitive touchscreen. What it lacks in buttons, it makes up for in spectrum, as it covers infrared, Bluetooth 4.0, Wi-Fi, and Zigbee. The difference between other remotes such as the Harmony and the RSR is that the RSR is designed to more tightly integrate with your AV system and your video providers by retrieving and displaying information from those devices and services on its screen. For instance, you can bring up information about your DVR on the remote screen. You can get a graphical representation of your recordings with thumbnails, the number of recordings listed for each show. It also lists your scheduled recordings and any conflicts, as well as the amount of space on your DVR. VOD also gets the same treatment by not only showing what is available, but what costs extra to watch versus what's already included with your subscription. The RSR also has its own discovery capabilities. Let it know what you like, and it will tell you if more like it is available or coming soon. It even categorizes it for you. There are other sides to the RSR. It is only available for pre-order, and the spring orders are closed, but the summer pre-orders are open. Shipments for spring pre-orders are expected to go out in May. It also requires a Wi-Fi internet connection to update its information about your video services and recordings, but it can cope with short-term outages. This also comes with the upside that it doesn't have to interact with your computer in order for you to program it. It will only work in the US at first, then it'll expand to other countries. Full integration with DVR and VOD is initially limited to Dish, but they are working on expanding it to other TV providers. If you wish to learn more information about Ray Enterprises Super Remote, you can find out more information at their website in the link below. You can also see a video of it here on YouTube's Bug 60. Dave Zatz of zatsnotfunny.com has racked up a lot of Tivo information for the first quarter, so I'm just going to give you the headlines and links. Tivo has bought Aereo's assets for $2 million. Tivo dropped support for YouTube and video podcasts for Tivo Series 2 and Series 3. Tivo Series 3 is going to lose Amazon Instant Download, so the ability to download and keep videos you've purchased from Amazon, that's now gone. Tivo has also updated its Android app. It's now faster and compatible with rooted devices. And Plex is now heading to Tivo. And you can get more information on those articles in zatsnotfunny.com in the links below. And time for a new article. Well, related. Plex has also revised its Roku channel. The revised interface allows users greater control and access to the content on their Plex media servers when accessed on Roku devices. And this is all a result because Plex hired the guy who made a better client. Well, he wrote a better channel for Plex than Plex did, so they said, well, instead of being traditional spiteful buggers, they decided, let's hire that guy to do our work for us, to do the work we needed done. They did, and now we got a good result. Okay, why aren't you moving? Okay, Tablo, the over-the-air network DVR, has officially gained the ability to preview images of videos we are fast-forwarding and rewinding. An update to the Roku channel and a new Fire TV and Android TV apps are expected very soon. Media Browsers 3's community has been giving its media server a big boost by enabling hardware encoding. However, it's platform and hardware dependent. Currently only working on Windows using either Intel's QuickSync Video or NVIDIA's NVENC on graphics cards and chips that support it. Because the leadership at Media Browser does not want to directly incorporate it directly into Media Browser because they want consistency between platforms such as Windows, Mac, and Linux, as well as getting it supported on other brands of graphics processors that can perform the hardware encoding. But they are perfectly fine with it being offered as a plugin and have given some feedback regarding that. Initially, this was begun by a user known as MJB2000. Others quickly stepped in and helped where they could, whether it was with coding or offering their time and their systems for beta testing. What was really interesting about this story is this just started off as a discussion between members of the community about whether it was even possible for Media 3 to get hardware encoding to work. And then MJB's did a little research and did a little coding, and they've made a lot of progress on it. It's rather impressive. This is like really good example of what a community can do to improve a product that they love. The last two bits of story involve video services. HBO Now has officially launched on Apple devices, and on Saturday, April 11th, it will launch on Sling TV. Now, at the other end of the video services spectrum is Hallmark's Feeln. Feeln is a video streaming service that is owned by Hallmark. Besides providing some Hallmark Hall of Fame movies, it also provides movies and shows from other studios. Now, the big differentiator between Feeln, as it's pronounced, it's spelled F-E-E-L-N, Feeln and the other studios, is that its content is geared towards feel-good movies and shows. Not necessarily kids' shows and movies, but shows and movies that are okay to watch when the kids are around. Additionally, movies from other studios are edited to remove nudity, excessive violence, and profanity if need be. Well, selection and rotation rate the selection is a lot smaller than Netflix, but so is the price. It's only $4 a month or $24 a year. And its rotation is also slower than that of Netflix. But if you just want something that's not skin, gore, and profanity, and you just need a break from it, you just binged on Game of Thrones and True Detective and other shows like that, and you want something toned down. You need your mellow, and you want to be able to watch it if the kids walk into the room or grandma walks into the room and she's dropped by for a visit. This might be something that might interest you, or if you just don't care for content, the harder R-rated content. It's always good to have options. And that is my final story. I'd like to thank you all for streaming this episode. You can find more links on the news fragments I've mentioned in this show listed below. And don't forget to like or subscribe if you want to see more of this show. Thank you all for streaming. Take care until next time. Goodbye.